Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, Series 13, Book 4, Linka the Sky Conqueror. And it's been a while since we've done Beast Quest, hasn't it? But here we are again. So without further ado, as we always do, in-depth story analysis, and I think I'll give my thoughts overall on this book. So, let's go over it. Our story starts already with a kicker. Tom is captured by a mysterious hooded figure and is led into some type of chamber room where they begin a duel. We do see a beard on this figure, but not his face. He tells Tom to focus on the fight and not his friends who arrive to help him. Tom calls them off so he can fight him personally. However, Tom was still having his ankle recover after his fight with Slivka. The warrior knew about the Warrior's Road and said that someone like Tom shouldn't be on it. He wanted Tom to go back home to his aunt and uncle. Despite Tom's best efforts, he was overpowered and beaten. So this is already intriguing. This warrior knows who knows who Tom is, that Tom's living with his aunt and uncle, and the way he's talking, with the whole vibe of having Tom more focused on the fight than insulting any lower than just the one. I'm going to say he's either Tanner, the original Master of the Beasts, as he's the only person to be on this quest, which would explain how he knows the information he knows. Plus, he could have easily grown a beard in that time. 2, it could be just another test from the Warrior's Road, which kind of weakens it for me if that's the case, because I'm expecting more than that. Or finally, and obviously, it could be Jezrin or one of his hired goons to teach Tom a lesson, which I'm hoping is not the case. I'm hoping more than that. Tom was saved by Eleanor, who shot arrows at the warrior, and as he turned into the light, his face became visible, but Tom didn't seem to recognize him, but he did ponder there's something familiar about him. Okay, with this information I was reading, I had a vague wonder if this was Taladon. Yes, I know Taladon, he's dead, but in a world with magical sorcerers, beasts, and with supernatural powers and tokens that can do anything, would it really be hard to bring back someone from the dead? So that's a possibility. Anyway, while Eleanor kept an eye on the warrior, Tom retreated back to Eleanor, while the warrior confronted Eleanor, saying he knows her fighting style too well. Again, adding to my theory of Taladon or Jezrin. The warrior retreated and they heard a yell, assuming the warrior had found another victim in this new world they had entered. They found a girl, wounded, calling out for someone named Aldo. It was at this moment I noticed a repetition. It probably started with Skirrick, but I noticed it more with Targro. Heroes wander on the quest, encounter a wounded person with some connection to the beast. Yes, I know this has happened in other series prior, but never has it felt so more blatant than this in this series. There even at times when our heroes and the story itself mentions this. So that's there. Tom and friends heard she mentioned an eagle-like beast, but with no legs. They assumed it was the next beast and couldn't leave her to die, so Tom and Eleanor carried her into the village. Now Tom's ankle still hasn't recovered from Slivka's last fight, and he's refusing to heal it with his dual belt powers, which he could easily do. But Tom wants to prove to Jezrin he can do it without his powers. Damn, Tom's got some serious courage. They reach the town. I should quickly mention they discover Aldo is her brother. The town takes Arsha to be healed and tell Tom and Eleanor they were expected and their princess has arrived. Now that's getting intriguing. They entered the princess's chambers only to find Petra. They asked what she was doing here, and she explained she wanted to observe Tom fail on his quest, as she doesn't believe he can beat it. She came across the village, and after showing off some magic, they believed her to be a princess, and treated her royally. Tom hating how Petra was using the people to her own gain, but they asked why she sent the warrior to attack Tom. Petra claimed she had no connection to this warrior. She soon revealed she was really here for the stone glass, an alloy hidden in the Sunspear Mountain. She had sent 2 villagers to get some, only to have one missing and the other injured. Tom and Petra made a bargain. Tom needed help finding the Warrior's Road, and he knew Petra had the power to help. So obviously Petra asks Tom and Eleanor to get the stone glass and claims she'll help them out. Of course, it was hard to trust her, but what choice did they have? Another interesting element at play, of course. Tom and Eleanor were preparing to set off. They got some information about the stone glass, that it looked black, but it still shone brightly. When Petra arrived to tell them, the next beast, known as Linka, the Sky Conqueror, guards the stone glass and stops people from getting it. This info was just to rub in our heroes' faces to hope they get beat, basically. Now, I will wonder if the beast is meant to be guarding Sunspear Mountain, and Tom has to fight these beasts in order to win, as well as following the Warrior's Road. Does that mean he's meant to go towards the mountain because the beast is already guarding the mountain? I'm wondering. Otherwise, it makes no sense to me, because these beasts only come out when someone takes the Warrior's Road, and if it's guarding the stone glass, there must be some connection to that spot in this. Okay, they carried on climbing, and you could feel the pain Tom was going through as he climbed up. But then they heard Silver howl, and suddenly a rock slide and came their way. Yeah, I'll get to the Silver stuff probably at the end, because they did leave Silver behind. But I'll get to that in the end and explain about that. Tom used his climbing rope to dodge the rock fall, and after a few more scuffling with rocks, they saw Linka attacking, which was no doubt Aldo. While Eleanor would get the stone glass, Tom would distract Linka. She was hesitant, but Tom reminded he didn't have the strength to keep climbing anyway. He had to fight. It was his quest, after all, to defeat the beasts. Tom used the Slivka's scale and tossed it well, and it gashed Linka badly. She came to Tom for some revenge, and at this chapter, I really like how far Tom and Eleanor's friendship has come, and what it makes it more impressive to me is that they never ever make them a couple, and I honestly admire that friendship. Between the two of them, it's well done, and as we continue through Beast Quest, it's only going to get way better and better. Tom began his fight with Linka only to be pushed by his injured ankle. All would have been lost when Eleanor came in shooting arrows to save Tom. She had found a better position to fire her arrows, giving Tom the time to enter the crack and find Aldo. He explained they had Asher back at Pyrus Village, and Tom apologized as he was the reason the beast was here. Linka made her move. Tom told Aldo to get Linka's attention, while he would take some rope and prepare to surprise the beast. It worked. Linka was heading for Aldo, and Tom's rope trap had caught Linka. However, she was not done. She hoisted herself up, taking Tom, as he was also hanging onto the rope. Kinda had feeling this was gonna take place in the air at some point, because flying beast. Linka planned to dive and send Tom crashing into the rocks. Tom had to climb up the rope before it was too late, but Linka was moving more faster than Tom's climbing. Tom lightened the fall and rolled to the ground on the level side of the mountain. Linka thought she had won, but Eleanor came to scare off Linka. Eleanor came to scare off Linka. Then, Tom told her to lay it down, as Linka couldn't get them lying down, as she has no feet to grasp the ground on her prey. There, an idea shot into his head. He figured out how to beat Linka by using Eleanor's bow and her rope and tying it to the other side of a large boulder. They would anchor Linka down to the ground. Without legs, she would never take off again, which makes perfect sense, and I have to give props to Adam Blade. He created a beast that really felt like a challenge more than another beast to slay. Linka was more like a video game boss, and finding her weakness is what would pass the challenge. What I said previously to Slivka, how it should feel more like this quest is meant to be filmed like a challenge than an actual quest. And I really like how that's being planned out so far. After Eleanor uses herself as bait to draw Linka, Tom sprung the trap, and the anchor was drawing Linka closer and closer to the ground. Eleanor could easily kill her now, but Tom told her not to fire. He wanted to give Linka the chance to surrender. They pushed her to the ground completely and asked her to surrender, of course. On a side note, how is Tom communicating to the beast if he said he wouldn't use his powers on this quest, so he would play fair? I guess the red jewel is okay to use then. But anyway, of course, Linka still tries to kill Tom. It fails, she fades away, leaving nothing more but her feather, along with Slivka's scale. That's another thing I want to note. The tokens don't seem to be fading away, like in previous series, when Tom would win something from a beast. I'm not counting the shield ones or the dual belt powers, so that's new. Only problem is how they would get down from the mountain. Tom and friends, and yes, it would seem Silver was there the entire time with them. They just didn't seem to focus on him at all, which explained the howling. Anyway, Eleanor had gotten some stone glass and they headed back to Pyrus Village. So there was an easy way to get down that mountain after all. Asher and Aldo reunited and Petra was ready for the stone glass, but they wouldn't give it to her until she kept her end of the bargain. So after throwing one sample of stone glass into the fire, Petra created the stone glass tablet, a mystical relic that would reveal the warrior's road, whoever held the tablet. She even was there to see them off as they had a bite to eat. Eleanor was thinking that Petra had changed. Tom wasn't so sure. She acted nice out of payment, but the road led them to an abyss. The mystery warrior showed up, telling Tom not to jump and he's a fool. Tom, just to show his badass, and he ignored the mystery warrior and jumped in with his friends into the abyss. And that's obviously setting up for the next quest. Overall, Linka's gotta be the best book of Series 13 so far. I mean, I was surprised. Could anything really beat Slivka? Because I was wondering if they weren't going to make these beasts an actual challenge, because this series is meant to be more of a challenge to pass tests to prove that Tom is worthy of his title. And that's what you need to keep in mind. The first two, was it first two? Yeah, we had Skurik. That was kind of a challenge. It felt more like a challenge. Then you got Tardro, it didn't feel more like a challenge at all. Slivka, I did explain how awesome that was, and I was wondering if they could actually do it again, so we could have some more challenges to finish up Series 13. And yes, he did. Adam Blay gave us another awesome, challenging beast, and it makes sense. So like I said, perfect video game boss fight type scenario, and with the stuff with Petra, it easily, to me, overpowers what Slivka did. This book takes what Slivka had, and it goes a step further with it, introducing the mysterious figure and having Petra back as, not this villain, but this other mysterious force you can't trust. Awesome book, really great. And next time on Beast Quest, we'll be moving on to the next awesomeness, which I believe is called Vermok, the Spiteful Scavenger. But we're not done just yet.
By order of me, Dark Lord, I suggest you go subscribe to the Dimensional Gaming Squad, as there you will see reviews of the beasts, a review of Beast Quest from the beasts' point of view, where they will be rated, judged and all. So what are you waiting for? Annotation will be ready.
But till next time, guys, peace.